So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to the final, the last instant post game reaction. It is the last one. And we're going to get into this one. I'm expecting a couple more guests, familiar faces that you would have realized when, oh, I know that person, I know these people in the next few moments. But listen, too little, too late. Too little, too late. You can't go in a game like this and hoping and praying and wishing and hoping, that Man City would drop some points and lose. Wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen. But we're going to get into this one on the other side of this music intro. Yes, welcome back again to Cannon for the TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Now, before my wife left to go meet her family, and I'm due to go and meet them in central London, and just after we've done the show, my wife said to me, "Look, just take it easy, don't get too upset about this game." There was no way I was going to be upset about this game. I could already see what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen. But anyway, like I said, we are expecting two more guests joining me on this instant post-game reaction. But we'll fire up the burners before they jump in. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to look at the 11. So this was the 11 that Mikel Arteta chose to play against, actually the last game of the season, against Everton. David Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, I'll get to him in a moment. Tomiyasu, I'll get to him in a moment. Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, I'll get to him in a moment. Odegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, I'll get to him in a moment, and Kai Havertz. So that was the 11. That was the 11 that he said in his right mind. This is gonna be the 11 to get the business done. Did he really understand the picture? Have to win. That's all you had to do because it was already out of your hands. The draw and the loss, Fulham, Newcastle, Everton, Aston Villa, already out of our hands. Now, I was listening to another podcast whilst I was coming in from the Emirates, and thank you to those of you who tuned in to my live broadcast from outside the Emirates earlier on today. Running to get home in time, but the sticker was getting on my phone, and I said, "Oh, well, the best thing I can do is just listen to this podcast." And all the things that we have been talking about, all the things that we've been highlighting and flagging about the Thomas Partey situation, about not having an out-and-out striker, all those things that this platform was talking about, we've been banging on about for the whole of the season. This is their last season. Thomas Partey, as I understood, he gave the ball away so many times and he looked off the pace. But you can't arrive at this point and say, oh, right, look at that play. Oh, you might as well get him off. You might as well sell him. We've been saying that for the last 2 seasons. Now, I did say maybe 3 seasons ago that Amanda Onana would be a perfect replacement for Thomas Partey. I mean, they're 2 different types of midfielders. One is more athletic. The other one is not. The other one is more creative. The other one is more robust. But you can't arrive, at this, the last game of the season and be hoping and praying the possibility and no. So Man City winning 4 Premier League titles. Is that 6 and 7 seasons? Incredible. So I don't know. But anyway, that was the 11 there. And so let me just show you the Premier League table. So Man City 91 points, Arsenal 89 points, the most points, even higher than the Invincibles. No one's going to remember that. Nobody's going to remember that. People only remember and want winners. The only winner here is Man City, not Arsenal, not Liverpool, not Aston Villa. Now, when my guests do come in, because there is an air of inevitability about how the game ended. I mean, yeah, of course, we beat Everton eventually 2-1, even though for me, the goal shouldn't have stood because Gabriel Jesus, it was a clear handball. And you've got to wonder, with those referees, have they ever played a sport before? If the ball hits this part of the arm, it's handball. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. If it were not for that goal, which should have been disallowed, actually, it would have been 1-1. And James Rowe did say he thought it was going to be 1-1. But yeah. So a couple of surprises. You notice from this 11 here, there's a massive name missing. Do you know the player's name? Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka, as I was doing my live stream broadcast from outside the Emirates, I got a message to say that Bukayo Saka would not be playing in the last game of the season because he had a muscle issue, which ruled him out of the game against Everton. But I tell you what, Martinelli on that right-hand side, talk about sprightly, talk about putting in the crosses. Really, really good. And then, for me, it kind of gave me a sense of desperation when you put on Emil Smith-Rowe, who hasn't started any Premier League games in how long? In how long? And Gabriel Jesus has not scored in 12 matches. To me, desperation. Yorin Timber plays the last game of the season. Why? Why? No. I just got those words from my wife. Alex, take it easy. Take it easy. And so, yes. A goal. Everton deflected off Declan Rice. A free kick. And then quickly after, it was a really good goal by Tomiyasu. Came to him from the right-hand side, and he slotted it down to the goalkeeper's right. And Arsenal got the winning goal, which again should have been ruled off handball from Kai Havertz. So when you talk about the players now, the player of the season, I'm always going to go for, Trossard. A bag of surprises in the Champions League and in the Premier League. But where do Arsenal go from here? Where do they go from here? I just remember what I was going to say now. So when the match finished, there is an air of inevitability. It's inevitable. And Mikel Arteta will be the manager come next season. And maybe beyond that. Even though 4 straight seasons and no major trophies. I find it very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Good evening to you, brother Isaac. How are you?
Evening to Brother Alex. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm relaxed. The
You're
season
not fuming.
is over. Say again?
You're not fuming.
No, why? Why?
I've left some other fans so disappointed. I had to rush home to get onto the show.
Oh, I do apologize. Sorry, brother. Sorry about that. Sorry.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah. So your thoughts about the game, the match, the season?
Okay, we did our part, and so did City.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were on the show on a Tuesday with Prosper, I said we are capable of winning our games, and so is City. And it has been true. We've won all our games, and City have won all their games. So we move to next season and see what the transfer window brings. and perhaps Ateta has learned from his mistakes and he's seen where he went wrong, and he's seen where he needs to add a few players to strengthen the team, and perhaps he has evolved tactically, and I'm
Mm.
hoping he has, because we have to. There are matches where you'll need to twist your tactics, but do not overthink, like he did in some games, precisely the Villa home game. Most of us were saying he did overthink, and we were caught off guard. But I'm hoping we press on next season, because I saw the Arsenal fans cry, and I'm hoping they have learned
Oh,
I saw them cry, and I'm hoping they have learned from that. So I'm hoping next season they are going to come back stronger and
mm-hmm.
give them all, because I read a tweet from Fabrizio that Odegaard spoke to the fans immediately after the game,
He did.
and he
Yeah.
told them, you believed in us. Hopefully we come back strong after this break, and I'm hoping they come back strong after this break. Though others are going to be playing in the Euros, and is quite tiring when you the league ends and then you go direct to the Euros.
Mm.
And I feel sorry for the players, for those who will be playing every game again, and
No
then they
rest.
come back and
Yeah.
then play every game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm hoping we don't get uh, injuries from the Euros, because currently the star boy sat out because of an injury he picked last week. He didn't play today, and we
Yeah.
saw how blunt we were in that wing. And uh, Magales picked an injury, a
Mm.
shoulder injury, I presume, and I'm hoping he'll recover soon and join the others in the preseason, because I'm hoping it is not as bad
Serious.
as it looked,
Yeah.
because he went straight down and raised his hand. I'm hoping it is not as bad as it looked, that he'll be fit and play or go to the preseason and have that chemistry with other players.
Mm.
Here comes Prosper.
Good evening to you.
Good evening, Canon Fodder fans, Gunners all over the world. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Here at the end of all things.
The game, Prosper. Thoughts, man.
Here
Thoughts.
at the end of all things.
Mm.
You know, everything just came rushing in my head, to a point whereby I was just like, started composing a song along. We left happy for the Emirates, thinking we would be great. But now 20 years have gone by and we're still waiting for that day. That's all that is there to say. Thoughts about the game, going into the final day is difficult. When you have to leave it to the final day, especially when you're playing on a disadvantage, it's kind of difficult because when you hear the fans go silent, you know something is happening the other side, and that kills you. And even if you score in the first half or you lead in the first half, if we were leading the first half, that is, we're assuming if we were leading, you go at halftime, you find your friends have scored 2+ goals. You're like, there's nothing we're fighting for here, you know? So I don't like leaving things to the end. Just before the show, I was thinking you cannot let Usain Bolt go ahead of you. You're not catching up. You're
Yeah.
not catching up. And City is the Usain Bolt of the EPL. You know. And now we have become the escort of England. Now, if you want to come to England and you need an escort with around right quids or right pounds, I'll give you a good time and I'll escort you all over England. So we've become the escort of the EPL, you know? We the ones who are escorting. We that girl, that the good girl that dresses up well, that plays well, that scores a lot of goals, does everything pretty, but has no substance. That's what we've become,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So
Yeah.
that game, post match, a lot was written on that game. And honestly speaking, winning or losing didn't count for much, you know.
Hmm.
It was
Hmm.
at home against West Ham.
But Prosper, were you surprised to see Emil Smith Rowe come on? Were you surprised to see Urin Timber come on in the second half?
Not
Or
really.
no?
Not really. This is typical of Arteta. This is typical of Arteta. On a day that you really need performance, and when things are already broken, that's when you bring in players. So, like today, it's just one of those things. Emil Smith Rowe is still around. If I want to sell him, I should market him. It's not about his comeback is gonna play because he would have been featured earlier, but because he's part of the team, probably just wants to have him sign or sell him at a good price. Now he'll start playing him. I don't know how it goes, but for Timber, yeah, because there's all this Zichenko issue flying around. I guess Timber had to play. He has to look at him as the main man of the position now. But
Mm,
for Emil
mm,
Smith Rowe, I'm just looking at it as a marketing thing. You know, the typical Arsenal, like Isaac was saying, you know, Odegaard went to the fans. We've become a typical PR team. You know, fans don't want you to talk to them, to be polite with them. They want that old school kind of footballer, and a footballer who will curse them with words, but win them things on the pitch. That's what we want. We don't want soft people that talk to us nicely and show as if they're so committed, but on the pitch, the results ain't coming out. That's what we've become. Sweet talkers, you know?
So are you upset that Arsenal didn't win? Well, they won, but are you upset they didn't win the Premier League?
I'm not, if I say I'm upset, then I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
My chances of us winning the Premier League, starting from when we began the league, have been consistent. You look at the, as Isaac has repeatedly said here, the depth and the quality of the depth. So we go into this transfer season and we don't improve on that. And then when we start the league, we have high hopes forward. You already know you're going with a left foot into the league. So how are you going to win it? By miracle, you want referees to play for you. You want injuries in other teams to play for you. That doesn't happen in football. Unfortunately, it's not a cup game where you can chance a win in one night. No,
Mm,
but this is a long, long marathon. So you need to prepare very well for that long leg.
mm,
So I didn't expect us to win the league, but there were some times when I saw, okay, here's an opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity falls on your laps, even when you're not doing well. And then, okay, let's grab it. And we didn't grab it. Just like
mm,
last season. The opportunity falls on your lap sometimes, even if you're not well prepared, you just take it. But we didn't grab it. And here we are. So I'm not broken because I see a lot of positives in the team. But all all I want to see in the transfer is that positive aggression, like Isaac said, starting from tomorrow, the signings should start happening. They're going to the season, those players, not this hide and seek Ateta way of final day, uh, swaying the whole public to the other direction when it's going for this other player. That doesn't count
mm,
because you really have to see and know what's happening to the club. We have
mm,
that right to do so. This hide and seek is not helping. Now we want instant results. So the transfer will determine how far we'll go. We can talk about improvements and everything, but the off-season transfers will determine how far we'll go next season because our opposition isn't playing. They're really serious about it, and if if it so happens that Zidane comes to Liverpool or Chelsea and Tuchel the other way, this league will be a whole different ballgame. And I hear the Manchester United coach might get a sack. So definitely Zidane is coming to one of those. So these big managers. So you expect a whole different season next season.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
yeah.
can't go in with the left foot, no.
You know, Isaac, when I was listening to club captain Martin Odegaard speaking to the crowd in the stadium, I just got the impression that he was like, another season, so close again, but now another season. And what's going to happen next season? So close again. But yeah, just listening to him, I thought, yeah, he's probably thinking, oh, you know what, again, we've come so close, but yet so far away. But is Isaac still with us? Isaac's
No, I
gone.
think he's gone. Yeah, as you were saying, here's the deal canon for the family. Arteta is losing that element of surprise, that wow element, because the longer you stay in the league, the longer they study your game, the longer they get to understand you, the longer they get to see your weaknesses. So, if I am Arteta, I would be getting worried because next season everybody's gonna know Arsenal plays like that and like that and like that. Last season we had, because of this his long run, we were found out. So this season he changed his game. They're going to find out again. So if we don't get it, he has to keep improving or coming up with a new solution till when. So this cycle will go on and on and on. Because when we're saying we're improving, we forget one factor. Our opponents are also improving. For every step we take forward, they're going 2 steps. You see, they're going 3 steps. So to strike that balance, it's something difficult.
And that's why I believe last season was the best opportunity for Arsenal to have won the Premier League. There was no real pressure, and we were there only for us to drop off. And like you say, now teams know how Arsenal plays, and even then, probably this is the best performance that they can do. The most points, better than or higher than the Invincibles, and yet still prosper. They couldn't win the Premier League. They could not win the Premier League. All those stats, forget about those stats, man. Forget about the stats.
I always talk about the stats. These stats are fooling sometimes, because when I look at the Invincibles time, I look at the Chelsea of that time, the Manchester United of that time, the Liverpool of the Steven Gerrards of that time. Top 4 was a hard nut to crack. It wasn't as porous as it is today. So for you to pull up points like they are pulling up today, it's kind of it was very difficult then because those teams were solid. It was never a guarantee that you're going to beat Manchester United. But right now, you go to Old Trafford, you're gonna pull something out there. It's a porous Trafford, You go to Chelsea, it's no longer the Stamford Bridge, It's a Stamford, I don't know what you can call it, but something, a raft or something where anything can happen, But then, no matter how much we tried to play Chelsea with Mourinho, we never got points from Mourinho. Wenger never beat Mourinho. That's how tough it was. So it was very difficult for teams to pull points like they're pulling then, now. You see?
Isaac, I was just asking you the question about Martin Odegaard. I just got the impression when he was speaking to the crowd that the tone that he was speaking in gave the impression that he was like, another season. We came so close, but not close enough. And another season's gone by. Did you get that impression, or maybe it's just me?
I got the impression, and I believe the lads are disappointed.
Yeah.
They are disappointed. And you had asked something earlier. You had asked Prosper that when you saw Timber and Smith Rowe come on, they came on when City had gone 3-1 up. Perhaps someone mentioned to Ateta it is 3-1 up, and he said, "Okay, I've got nothing to lose." Then throw them into the field, because if City is 3-1 up, then you don't expect them to draw or lose that game. And I have nothing to lose. And then he said, "Bring the boys on," and he brought them on. But as we've just said, uh, Odegaard was speaking to the fans, was a bit of disappointed, and I think Zinnia is so crying, and I'm hoping they'll take this on their chins, because you remember last season it did not go up to the last game, so they were prepared. We've lost this, but this season they were like, we have a chance. But when it is in the hand of a serial killer, he's going to kill the game. When it is, I remember I was watching the show before the game began, and it is Thierry and Leo saying Pep is a serial killer, and you don't expect him to lose that game. And the other day, when we were on with Prosper, I told you expect everybody to win their games, and City won, and we also won. It was in our hands, and we lost to Villa. And then boom.
Yeah. It's gone again. It's gone again,
Yeah.
Prosper. Prosper, let me go to the live chat. Let me go to live. There's been a few comments in the live chat that we can go through. Got Carl, who's our resident Liverpool supporter. He said, had to double check who won the title. There's always going to be Man City, man. When everything has been done and dusted, Liverpool still won a cup this season, Prosper.
Exactly what we were talking about some days ago. You know, these guys will always have an edge over us because they're winning something. If it so happens that Manchester United plays Man City in the cup game and Manchester United pulls a win somehow, they're always going to have something on us. Look, you guys, that's what I was singing about being the best escorts, you know, in London. Because we're going there to escort. We're not going there to challenge or to win, you know?
Dearie me.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations, Carl. You got silver.
The Static, another moderator, says, "Hey, thanks for everything with your channel, Static. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you. I do appreciate that." Alex the Legend, always. If you ever want to find me on Instagram, just find my name at static_5. As I'm going to go off and cool off. So angry. Arteta out. Isaac. He's Arteta out.
Who are you gonna bring when you say Ateta out? Who's available?
I think.
For me,
I think. Okay, go on, Isaac.
He's gonna get. Oh,
He's
no,
back.
I'm here. I'm still here.
Go on, Isaac. Go on. For you.
I have a bit of an unstable network at the moment, but I'm hoping it will allow us. Hopefully. When you say Ateta out, who are you gonna bring? Zidane is not ready to come to the Premier League. I remember sometimes back he said no to the Premier League. He was waiting on Real, and I'm thinking he's still waiting on Real Madrid. But Ancelotti signed until 2025, something of that sort. And if Tuchel comes back, he might go to Man United, because I don't believe United's coach is going to survive, especially if they lose the FA. They lose the out of European Championship. They are not in Champions League, they are not in Europa League, and they're not even in Europa Conference League. But I believe they are going to lose that game, because you're playing against a mercenary, a well-oiled machine who know how to finish their games. You know, now Man City are unbeaten in unbeaten in 34, 35. The last game they lost in the league was their defeat to Villa. That was the last game. But we don't remember that. We are all focused on Arsenal because I believe we are the newbies in the house. Even in school, when you have a newcomer in school, more especially to the boys who are looking for suitors, when you have newcomers in school, they'll focus on the newcomers. And I believe we are the newcomers in school, and suitors are looking at us, and they've forgotten the city. They forget about the seniors, and they are looking at the freshmen because they might be easily convinced. But we've fought a good fight, despite a few mistakes here and there. I believe there were mistakes, but I wouldn't be outright and say Arteta out, because in the beginning he's the one that has built this. We didn't give Unai time to see what he'll build, but he's also performed at Villa, and I think others are saying he has performed with the Villa team he has at the moment. But a few years ago, nobody would have given us a shout. That is during the Wenger's last years. Nobody would have given us a shout. But last season and this season, we are in the mix. That, okay, look here, Arsenal can actually win this. We are in the shout, and I will give him another season. That is what I'll say. I give him another season because he's been backed, and I believe he's going to be backed in the transfer window. And after that, after the next season, if it does not bring silverware, then I might join the bandwagon, because he's built and is okay. I remember his steps now. He said culture first, characters, challenge, win, then consistently win. Those are 5 phases. And I believe phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 is done. Now it is phase 4 and 5, winning and consistently winning. Those are the phases remaining. So I believe if he wins next season and then puts us up there consistently, because I believe for even for Wenger, that is what happened. He won, and then he consistently finished top 4. When Wenger, he will win you an FA Cup and then you finish top 4. And then I was discussing with one of my friends, and he was telling me, when you are in the Champions League, there is some money that comes with that.
Yeah.
When you win the FA, there is some money that comes with that. And also, when you're in the Champions League, for the home games, you have fans in your stadium. So that is revenue generated. So I believe the Kroenkes were comfortable with that. And I don't want where the owners of the club are comfortable with top 4. I want them to be comfortable with silverware, where they say we have to win the Champions League, we have to win the Premier League, and we are then they should be comfortable with that. Yes, you have something, Alex.
Yeah, I was going to ask you the question about whether do you think our fan base, we're so melancholy with Mikel Arteta, and we think, give him another season, give him another season, he'll get us there. But we're not melancholy, because as you just said there, with Unai Emery, he didn't last 2 seasons, 18 months. Even though he got us to a Europa League final, he was out. So
see what Arteta did. What Arteta did is he sweet talked everyone into believing Unai did not do that. Had Arteta come in with the same ideology or with the same tactics as Unai, it could be out. He could have been out at this time. He could not be there. But when he came in, and then something that helped him was the documentary, the Amazon. And then the culture, everybody bought into that. We all bought into that. I cannot lie that I did not buy into that. I also did buy into that. He sweet talked everyone, and you have this newcomer, a sweet boy in school, and he sweet talks everybody in school, and then you are okay. Here is a generational talent that has come into the school. He sweet talked us, and given the fact that he had also played for Arsenal, and then we had that attachment. You know, he awoke. What he did, he awoke the attachment that we had with him when he was in the club and when he was the captain. He came in, and what he did, he knew how to push the right buttons. He pushed the right buttons first. The fan base is broken. Unite the fan base.
Yeah.
Second, show them that you can give them good players. He did. Show them that you can get them a Declan Rice. He did. Show them that you can get them a party. You can do his release clause in the last minute. He did that. You see, even for the signing of Thomas Partey, we were all craving for Thomas Partey, right? And I remember we were doing the show right then with you. We were all saying Thomas Partey. And the last minute, boom, here, it was pushed. And then we said, okay, he's done what we want. Pushed all the right buttons. But we've come to a point where now we want him to push winning. And I believe we are the most fragile fan base. And I remember saying this during the COVID period. If you have one fan base that is fragile, is the Arsenal fan base. Is the Arsenal fan base. One day they are Arteta in, the other day they are Arteta out. But for those who have their cool heads, we will complain, but also give credit where it is due. For instance, where did we finish last season? Or how many points did we finish with the last season? We finished with 84 points last season. And City won with 89 points. This season we have 89, City have 91. Is there an improvement from last season? Yes, there is, because we are unbeaten in the run with the traditional top six. Unbeaten against City, unbeaten against Liverpool, unbeaten against Tottenham, Chelsea, United. But we did not win the league. Then the reality is you need more just than being unbeaten against the top six. You have to win all your home games if you want to, because City are unbeaten at home. We've lost 2 at home. So he's got to look at it, make the Emirates a fortress where you come and you are scared. Where the games are won. I remember the times, you see, I read history. I'm not an old fan. But the history is that when United used to come to Highbury, they had they had lost the game in the tunnels because of the intimidation. But when you go to Old Trafford, you also lose it in the tunnel because of the intimidation and the kind of players you had. I want the Emirates to be a fortress where you go and you say, oh boys, it's going to be hot. It's going to be lit. Let's just do what we call damage control. Because these boys are not a joke. We have to go there and do damage control. And like nowadays, where you can go to the Old Trafford, where they call it a theater of dreams, and I call it a home of nightmares nowadays, because the boys who had dreams have now had nightmares in that ground. Let's make it a fortress. Win your games at home. Go away and if you can rely on your defense as we've relied this season, next season, then your defense can win you your away matches. But let nobody come to the Emirates thinking they can get even a point, win all of them.
Uh,
Then it's going to be a different conversation. Yes.
Prosper, you were asking about, if you, from the comment we just saw there about Arteta out, if you, just for example, if you are thinking Arteta out, which manager or coach realistically was you getting to manage or coach this team?
I don't like this idea of Arsenal. When it comes to picking a manager, we start to cherry pick. Like there is no other person who can manage Arsenal apart from Wenger. That's what it was back then, and now it's come to Arteta. But look at our opponents. When they need to chuck a manager, they chuck a manager, and boom, there's another one there. So we can't say out of the whole world it's only Arteta who's the best fit for Arsenal. No. There are a lot of managers out there, a lot of them. We just don't like change at Arsenal. And that's our biggest Achilles heel. We don't like change. And sometimes change is good. We get used to familiars. For some strange reason, we get used to familiar things. Being second, being top four, being everything. We just get used to it. And whenever there's change coming our way, we resist that change. And that's why we're failing, because everybody's like the last show. One of the guests said, I don't know if it's Days or other guy said, football has changed. You can't keep holding on to a manager if he's not delivering. For me, I gave
It's been
Arteta 3 years. I gave Arteta 3 years. In that 3 years, he proved to me that there's only a certain level in which he can reach, and he can cross that line. But today, I'm not going to have him. I'm not going to stand with everyone and say Arteta out because I want him to prove me wrong. I know where he'll end next season, but I want him to fail so that everybody doesn't say, "Oh, we got rid of him very fast." Or I want him to succeed so that he proves me wrong, and we say, "Okay, fine. I think he needed more time." So let this process go full cycle. Then when it goes full cycle, next time we get a manager, we shouldn't hang on to a manager when we see the signs that the manager is not delivering. And we should hold on. If he wins, then we should hold on to a manager, unlike we did with Unai, to give him that time to mature. It all lies on Arteta. So this time around, I'm standing on his back, even though he's hurt me, because the mistakes he's made the past 2 seasons are mistakes that have been obvious. They're not mistakes that are out of the blue. Okay, he hasn't got the experience and everything, but these are mistakes we could all see. Every fan could see we need a center forward. Every fan could see we need a defending midfielder. 3 seasons. I mean, but we didn't have those extra players. So now it's up to him. He has that chance, he has that experience, and he has everything. He has a team that's well coordinated now. As Isaac has said, the team has found its rhythm, and the supporters are behind the team. This is the best time for him to prove that, okay, he's worth the money he's getting. But when I look at him in terms of football all round, I'm looking at 750, now £1 billion, and I'm looking at 3 mediocre trophies. He's a failure. Compare that to Klopp. Klopp got a whole bunch of trophies with 600 something, you know? And you're looking at everybody else and like, okay, I think this is a fail. This is a failed project. Money wise, everything, it's a failed project. But I mean, everything is evolving. Let's give him a year and let's see. So when he wastes that one, that other £300 is being £300 million is being given, and then we reach the end of the season, it doesn't amount to anything. We'll say, okay, Arteta, I think everything has been thrown on a silver plate. It's time for his back and go. So
Okay.
let's give him a season.
Just one more, yeah. All right. This has been a massive contribution from Carl, who's donated £19 to the channel. So Carl, thank you for that. And Carl doesn't even support Arsenal. He's a Liverpool supporter. So Carl, thank you for that. Thank you for that, brother. There's been a
Thank you,
couple of
Carl.
comments. Yeah, thank you for that. What
You're
else was
more of
there?
an Arsenal fan than us Arsenal fans at the moment.
Like he said, they've won a trophy, innit? They've won a trophy.
Yeah.
Dearie me. Colin, whoops. Colin says, where is it? Where is it? Can I find it? Can I find his comment? Oh, can't find his comment. Oh, no, here it is. Here it is. You guys know how I feel about the issues Arsenal have. I will not bother with that. I'm only going to enjoy these last few Canon 4 TV shows. Awesome job, Alex. Thank you. My all-time favorite watch. Colin, thank you so very much for those words there. But like I always say, it's not a one-man band. I've done it without Prosper, Isaac, John, Eltel, Richard Godfather, my brother, Des. The list goes on and on and on to the break of dawn. So I'm no one-man band, but thank you for those comments there. John Gooner says, "Evening Gooners," and it wasn't to be. Well, I kind of knew that. And I actually did say from the beginning, Prosper, so I'm no flip-flop. I said that Man City would win the Premier League. What's happened? Man City won the Premier League. So, yeah. What else do we want to say? I think there's a couple more comments here. No, I think that was that. Guys, we're going to end the show because I do have to make more. I've got some visitors who've arrived from South America. But what I want to say is that you guys are going to be back on the show next week, Friday, for the final Easy Talk, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little bit emotional for some people. Not for me, because not emotional for me. But we're going to round up the whole season and probably talk about where we believe Arsenal lost the Premier League. I mean, I just saw someone just sent me a photo of when Man City was playing against Tottenham and Song was one-on-one with Ortega and he missed the opportunity there. But I think it's a little bit more than that. I think Aston Villa did the double, Everton, Fulham, 10 men Fulham. So I think for the Easy Talk, we're going to review the whole season on that show there. But Brother Isaac, thank you as always for giving us your time. And it's just, it's been a long old season, Isaac. A long old season.
We've become a family, and we've become real friends. And somebody said you can pick your friends, but you cannot pick your family. I remember. Do you remember how I came onto the show?
I don't remember. It was such a long time ago, man.
Was during the pandemic.
The COVID.
I was following your show, and I was commenting on the live chat. And then I said I could love to come onto the show. And then you said, "Wow, no problem." And then you asked for my email. You gave me your email so that I sent you my email.
Yeah.
And then from there on, I could come through the back door. Some shows you are doing alone, and I said I'm coming through the back door. You remember that?
Wow, it's been a ride.
I was doing the shows alone, and I said, "Wow, you know I'm coming through the back door if you've not invited me." And then boom, a link comes in, and then I'm in the show, in the midst of the show.
Yeah,
I've loved it here, and I've never loved it anywhere else. And I don't believe there's any other channel that I've followed as this family, the Canon Fodder. And how I wish I had the resources to take over instead of winding up the show. You see how I wish I had all the resources to take over, or for some time, but some things are inevitable. Change is inevitable, and
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes we've got to
Oh, his
Oh,
network again.
yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Just like Isaac was saying, it's like kind of tough to let go of this. I wish we had ended it with a win, a title win, but unfortunately, it slipped our hands twice.
yeah.
The family
Yeah.
has been good,
Yeah. Yeah.
carried us through difficult times. COVID was a tough time, especially for me. I got sick. I lost a father. I
Yeah.
lost a lot of relatives during that time, and at least if you had somewhere where to go off and let go of everything and just be neutral, there was cannon fodder there,
Yeah.
and feel good about life at some
Yeah.
point. And it's sad
Yeah.
that it's coming to an end.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like you say that, Prosper, and then you see that Canon 4 TV was a lot more than just people coming together and just talking about Arsenal.
Mm,
It was it, and it is. It's a community, isn't it? It's a
yes,
community. You know.
yes, because I remember very well we could air out some political views at times, sway a bit from football, but it's where people would come and put their realistic things on the table and talk about them in a rational manner. There wouldn't be casing, there wouldn't be anything going at each other. We'd all sit down like one happy family and say, this is that, this is that. If one goes left, the other one goes right, but you still got the love for each other, you still understand each other's views and respect them like that. So I think Canon Fodder is more to us than has been more to us than just about football. Actually,
yeah.
there was a time I mentioned the only thing good about Arsenal at this moment is Canon Fodder. I remember saying that. You know, the only thing good about Arsenal, if there was no Canon Fodder, probably I would have switched off because I reached a point where I was like, I'm giving so much to this team, it's giving me nothing. But Canon Fodder gave me something to look forward to,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if the
Yeah.
pitch, everything that happens on the pitch is frustrating. You come to Canon Fodder and feel like, okay, fine. Listen to some other people, get some hope, listen to other views, and like, okay, fine. I didn't see this. Like Days was saying, the enforcer was saying the other day, oh, I didn't see it in this line. So I bet there's hope. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
listening to Isaac and the rest of the guys there would give me this other hope. Like at first I would just like Arteta has to go, but I'm looking at it like, okay, fine. These guys, there's change and everything. You get that reason. It's all cause of Canon Fodder. So I appreciate being a part of this big thing. I only hope it carries on in whatever avenue it's going. We'll support it, and I hope the family stays close to it as well. Like Isaac was saying, I also wished if I had the resources to continue it, but only the person who drives the machine knows it well. You know,
Yeah. Thank you,
we
Prosper.
might dent the channel by trying to help it. We might make it worse. So I think it's nice to live on a bang.
Yeah. Absolutely.
the only channel
Absolutely.
where there's no foul language.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We listen. Well, the thing is, Is in the beginning of the channel, my mom and my sister used to watch me and my brother go live, and I said to myself, I don't want to be in a situation where I say something or do something to embarrass and make my mom feel upset. So I said, no, as a standard, we're not going to have any foul language. If you want to do that, there are other channels where you can hear a lot of people fighting, arguing, and using that kind of language. So my brother and myself said, no, on Canon 4 TV, there will be standards. And I remember in the early days, in the live chat, there was a lot of foul language. And I thought my first line of protection has to be good moderators, those who understand what we're trying to create here. And I think Monty, who's a Luton supporter, we were supposed to meet up back in the day, but we just didn't get to do that. He said, Alex, I'm with you. I'm with you, brother. Whatever comes into the live chat that's not appropriate, I'll make sure we give these people maybe a warning, but I'm going to be there as your first line of protection. And 6 years and beyond, the rest is history, man. So I'm very, very proud because what we've done on the channel has gone far beyond my expectations. Look at Isaac. Isaac met Seema. Seema was another contributor on the other segment on the platform. And that would never have happened if it wasn't for Canon 4 TV, Isaac. So just to see people meeting people, because we have a commonality in supporting the club, yes, but we've grown the community so far and wide. And for me, beyond my wildest dreams, man, beyond my wildest dreams. And the funny thing is, Isaac and Prosper, is like, I spoke to Seema last week and she said, oh, I would love to come on to the Easy Talk. And I tried to get her on last week, but she couldn't make it. She goes, oh, when's the next one? I thought, right, well, Friday was supposed to be the last one. But because I'm so desperate to try and give everyone an opportunity, I said, look, Seema, come on to the next one, which is next week. So we're going to have all the guys, you know, Des, Martinelli's agent, you guys, and Seema will be on the Easy Talk. That is a community. It's a community.
And we've actually met with Seema. Actually, when he came to Kenya, the original godfather told me, there's a lady Guna in Kenya, you've got to meet her. And he asked me, where do you live? I told him I'm in the capital, I'm in Nairobi, and he told me she's there. You've got to meet her. I told him, give her my number and give me her number, that we can communicate. And we did meet and we went for a game. That was the Liverpool versus United. So we were celebrating for a draw for United to do it for us. if you ask her, I was in my Arsenal jersey, and it's like guys around us were thinking, is this guy crazy? He's an Arsenal fan and he's supporting United. You know, over here the rivalry is between United and Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's not between Tottenham and Arsenal.
Yeah.
It is not Liverpool versus United over here. Over here it is United versus Arsenal.
United versus Arsenal. That's the rivalry.
Because of the history. Here there is no rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham, all that.
No, we don't count Tottenham.
It is precisely Arsenal versus United.
Manchester United.
Yeah, that's the way that I see it.
So you can imagine everybody seeing me in an Arsenal shirt and supporting United.
Oh, that was crazy.
I had to put on my jacket.
Hey, that was crazy.
So that people don't kill me.
Hey.
Guys, we have to end the show. We have to end the show.
So we have to end the show. Because
very quickly, Prosper, very quickly.
Because this is the post-match. I forgot to mention one thing. We had a goal from the samurai himself, Takahiro Tomiyasu. I'm happy. A guy has scored a goal, finally.
That was a good goal. That was a good goal. That was a striker's goal. Down, low, hard to the goalkeeper's right-hand side, right in the corner.
That was some goal.
Guys, we will see you on Friday. I'm supposed to be doing a show tomorrow, but let's see. But definitely for the Easy Talker on Friday. Thank you for coming on this instant post-game reaction, the last instant post-game reaction on Canon 4 TV. But we're not done just yet. Voice of Reason, thank you very much for your time. Prosper, thank you very much. But we see you guys again on the East Talk on Friday. But just remember, guys, that this has been Canon Fodder. Actually, Prosper, you do it, man.
This has been Canon Fodder, the channel for all Arsenal fans all over this world. With love from Alex, Prosper, and Isaac.
Yeah.